very much. So who was talking and chattering and tweeting about the Super Bowl the most on social media? According to Facebook, it's women between the ages of 25 to 34. They were the most active on the social media sites. Not exactly who you might have thought. Another fun fact, New Hampshire was the state with the highest level of Super Bowl conversation on Facebook. Yes, New Hampshire. Okay, that's weird. Joining me now to hear who comes out of the Super Bowl as social media winners and losers is Lance Ulanoff. He's Mashable editor-at-large, and Peter Caswell, NetBase CEO. Okay, right off the bat, Peter, I want to ask, who stole the show? Let's just go first to Facebook versus Twitter, because the numbers are pretty distinct.
So, good afternoon, Liz. We actually look at winners, losers, and surprises, and we look at all the social media channels together to analyze them overall. And it was really interesting. We look at the ads, partly because the ads really lead everybody and show that what's going on in the marketplace and how social is reacting to that. And we had 3 winners. We think about it as our love list. And the love list is Pitch Perfect, the Honda ad, and the Skittles ad. And the thing about each one of those was they were all really interesting and they had something new and unexpected. So, for example, Clay Matthews appeared in the Pitch Perfect ad. So that was really interesting. At the other end, losers of the love list were Sprint, Microsoft, and 50 Shades of Grey. And as we looked at those, we just saw that there was nothing new and it didn't pick up in social. And why is that important? Well, there's 13 million mentions in the last 24 hours around the Super Bowl in social in the last 24 hours.
Wow.
And to just put that in context, that's 2 times the volume of discussion that went on around the Apple iPhone 6 launch. So it's really important.
All right. Well,
there is another issue, though.
Hold on. Just let me get Lance into the conversation here. Lance, wow. Peter's all ready to go. So are you. You give us your winners first and then your losers. 3 and 3.
So winners, Katy Perry, Malcolm Butler, and Missy Elliott. Katy Perry, obviously, an amazing halftime show that everybody was talking about, grabbing pictures. You know, on Twitter, we had 28.4 million tweets, and many of those tweets were screen grabs of the incredible halftime show.
Well, that creature thing. And by the way, look at the feet. Do you see the characters all dressed in black? That's very Warhorse, which was a huge show on Broadway where they had horses being led along by humans.
I mean, this is what I mean about the Super Bowl this year. Something for everyone, from the game itself to the halftime show. It had so much for people to react to. Malcolm Butler, who made that amazing interception. This guy, a rookie, no one was really talking about it. And of course, the end of the game, that's all they could talk about. Missy Elliott.
By the way, tweets at that moment hit 395,000 per minute.
Because it was a shocker. And then you have stuff like Missy Elliott coming back.
Right.
Come back, and everybody's talking about that. And on the losers side, we have the obvious. Pete Carroll, hashtag worst play call ever. That just blew up. We have Russell Wilson, the Seahawks QB, again, a loser, just slammed on Twitter. Nationwide, do you remember the Nationwide ad?
Yeah, of course.
Bummed everybody out on Twitter, really upset people. And, people just couldn't believe that they punked them with this child who ended up being dead.
And kids got upset when they saw it. I get it. Listen, I cover Nationwide, and I know what they were trying to do. You don't, if it saves one kid, then it did its job. I just don't think the Super Bowl was maybe an appropriate place. Peter, let me give you some numbers here. Last night, there were 28.4 million tweets sent around the Super Bowl. Listen to the Facebook numbers. 265 million interactions. To me, it looks like Facebook wins this battle.
It looks like to us that Facebook probably wins the battle, yeah. But there's a lot of volume and conversation going in lots of other channels. So, for example, Vine picked up on the biggest surprise for us in the Super Bowl, which was the sharks dancing. And you want to look out for lots of shark costumes in next year's Halloween, this year's Halloween, because you know what? It really took off. The press didn't see it that way, but social really did.
Well, I was just going to say, Facebook is 1.3 billion people, so of course they're going to have more volume, more people. But they also say on Facebook 1.36 million people per minute were engaging in Super Bowl-related activity during the game. That is enormous. So no matter how you look at it, it was a social media win. Super Bowl this year was a high level of engagement like we've never seen.
I was gnawing on a rib I mean, I wasn't tweeting. That would have gotten my phone all dirty. I was eating ribs.
I ate with one hand, tweeted with the other, and kept it going.
Okay. Listen, as we thank you guys quickly, Lance, over at Mashable, who do you think, as far as Facebook or Twitter, makes the biggest changes in the wake of this Super Bowl?
The biggest changes? Gosh, I don't know. I think Twitter is in the midst of changing right now
It kind of has to.
Yeah, it's changing, it's growing, it's becoming more real-time. Group DMs, everybody knows what that is if you're on Twitter. So there's lots of new stuff coming.
And finally, Peter, did you notice one of the sharks that we just showed dancing was a little off? I think it was the one to the right of Katy Perry. That's a big story in New York. He didn't have the dance moves right. Poor little shark.
There you go. Didn't have the dance moves right. Poor shark. So we'll have to look out for those in Halloween this year.
Yeah. I think that's a very prescient call. Thanks to both of you, Peter Caswell of NetBase, he's the CEO, and Lance Ulanoff, Mashable editor at large.